Hi, it's Gloria and Maddie, and today we're going to be talking about tips for developing a new school routine.
These are tips that really help us and hopefully will help you organize your schedule and make a really easy transition into this new school year.
So our first tip is to grab a calendar and put all your deadlines into that calendar. So usually in the beginning of the school year, you'll have a course outline or course syllabus, and they'll tell you all your due dates for your assignments. What I would do is just take all those due dates, put them in your calendar. I personally like to color code everything by class, so I know which project or assignment is due on which day and which class. And being able to visualize all of that really helps.
Yeah, I agree. That is super helpful. And another thing on top of that is like focus more on like the rough drafts. Like if they have dates that are like deadline stuff for the rough drafts, use those as your guide because it's a lot less stressful and it's better because I know sometimes like I'll aim for like the deadline and then I leave it to the last minute. So that's just me, but yeah, that's a really good one. Another one that I like to do is I really like to just plan my week ahead. So if I know that I have school and work on certain days, just dedicating to certain days. So if I want to go to the gym, I'll dedicate Wednesday and Friday after school to going to the gym, and then I have those other days to make plans with my friends, and so then I'll know exactly what I'm doing that week. I find that really helpful and it's a lot less stressful than just kind of making plans last minute.
Yeah, I like that. Like what I like to do is kind of like plan my week out. I have notes on my phone and I basically create a daily to-do list and write down everything I need to do for the day, and if there's things that to keep in mind for another day, I also do that too. So in a way, it's kind of like weekly planning, very similar.
Yeah, like a to-do list, but like for the week. And then each day, if you have new stuff, then you can just add that on to the list. That's a good one. Another one that I find super helpful. It's not really like a specific like tip, but honestly, just like getting really comfortable with your work and your school schedule. Like getting into the groove with those two things first, because obviously those are like the most important, and that's what you're going to be doing like constantly. Just make sure that you're really comfortable with those two things first. Like I said, work or school or both, before adding on anything else. So like, I usually wait 1 month in to get really used to my new classes and my new schedule before I start adding on like the gym, for example.
Yeah, I think that's really good, especially if you're new to college and you're still trying to figure out how heavy your schedule is and how heavy your workload is. So it's really good to focus on like those two things, the things that are important to you, like work and school, and figure out how much time you'll need for each before taking on new things.
Exactly. And like just not like doing more than you can handle. Like don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't like start doing like all these things like the first day of school because it might be too overwhelming. So yeah, that's one of my main things.
Nice. Another tip for me would be to make sure to schedule time for yourself. So like for example, when you're studying and you're taking notes or studying for a test, I like to make sure to schedule in breaks, little breaks like 5-minute breaks in between to help me like rejuvenate and refresh. Also, like I think you were mentioning earlier, like allocating time for yourself, like going to the gym.
Self-care.
Yeah, for sure. Like going to the gym, I don't know, doing things that you love. So for me personally, I like to cook. I don't get to do much of that in school, but I try my best. Or reading a book, hanging out with friends and family. I think it's really important that you do things for yourself, or else like it's just
you're just gonna go crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. You need to make time for like your friends and your family and for fun, because I mean, it's not all about school and work, right? Yeah, you gotta do that self-care stuff for sure. What you were saying about like cooking and like stuff like that. I don't know, it reminded me of another one of the tips that I was gonna say is just preparing. Like, I don't know if that was one that you were gonna say.
Oh yeah,
but like preparing like the night before. Like, so if you have to get up early and you know, for example, like I know that I sometimes I like to bring a lunch. So if you have the food at home, like make your lunch the night before, put it in the fridge. One thing that Gloria said was if you like, you know, plan your outfits, or if you spend a lot of time like me in the morning, like picking an outfit, like I spend too much time doing that in the morning, scrambling for like the clothes I need. Just plan that outfit out the night before, like set it aside, like what you're gonna wear, so you can just throw it on in the morning, grab your lunch and go, and you're not rushing. I find that like doing that, like you're so much more relaxed in the morning, and you can actually like take your time and enjoy your morning instead of like scrambling.
Yeah, I really like that. We were talking about this earlier, but if you're like the type of person that needs a little bit of motivation, what we like to do is set alarms and reminders for everything. So in the morning we have like 10 alarms go off.
Yeah, because my first alarm doesn't cut it. Like my first alarm, I'm like, oh, I could sleep for 15 more minutes, no big deal. But then like if you go back to sleep, those 15 minutes will turn into like half an hour, and the next thing you know, you're missing your bus or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
or even like little things like you have an appointment coming up, put a reminder on your phone.
Exactly.
Or,
that's what phones are for, in my opinion. Like, I mean, that's not what they're for, but like we have them, why not use them, right? So those are all our tips for developing a new school routine. If you found this useful, you'd probably really like our video on how to balance school and work. If you enjoyed this one, you should definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified, so you can find out when we post more videos.
Thanks for watching.